Hello, everyone, and welcome to Daily Grace with Pastor James. Thank you for joining me in this episode. Today, we just want to talk about something a little bit different, but really touch us on our daily lives. I've had few calls, and the calls are a bit worrying. Somebody called me the other day and said, Pastor, I'm going to divorce my wife. I've had enough. I'm not going to tolerate this again. I cannot bear this anymore. I can't go any further. And the guy just went on and on and on and on and on. Anyway, we talked at length. And that went, and another one came. The same thing, that, oh, that's the thing in the family, it's too much. In fact, when he was relocating, his friends advised him not to bring the wife, not to bring the family, because these women, once you take them there, they change, their attitude change, everything change, and now he's brought the family and the whole house is torn apart. Just on and on and on like that. You have stories about how people are going through various challenges, various storms in their marriages. And if you look at the newspaper today, if you look at the papers today, it's just divorce galore all over the place. What is the cause of all these things? What can we do about it? So today we're going to be looking at how we can survive marital storms, because these storms will come at some point in time in our lives, in our married lives. So how do we survive it? How do we ensure that we don't be part of the statistics of people who have divorced? How can we ensure that we are prepared? Because some of the divorces you see, they come and they hit those who were not prepared for the storms. For you to survive, you need to prepare for the storm. In Matthew 7, 24 to 25, Jesus says this. He says, therefore, whoever hears these sayings of mine and does them, I will liken him to a wise man who built his house on the rock. And the rain descended, the floods came, and the winds blew and beat on that house, and it did not fall, for it was founded on the rock. He says the key to a strong house, the key to a stable house, the key to you ensuring that no matter the wind, no matter the rain, no matter the flood, that it will still stand, is for you to have a firm foundation. The same thing applies to your home. The same thing applies to your marital life. If you want to survive the storm, you must have a firm foundation. You must build your marriage on a firm foundation. Now, there are 3 external forces that can damage your home. There are 3 external forces that can cause the storms, and if you are not prepared for it, it can put everything apart. Those are the kinds of storms that we should be looking at. From Matthew 7 that we have just read, verses 24 to 25, talks about the rain. The rain is the culture that you find yourself. It talks about flood. Floods are the crisis that will come across in our lives from day to day. The wind is the change that you see. So those are the 3 key elements that create storm in our marriages. Those are the 3 key elements that if they are not prepared for, it will lead to divorce. The culture, the crisis, and the changes that will come forth. You need to be prepared for the culture. The story I started with, the man that relocated from Africa to Britain. He has relocated from a developing country to a developed world. There are two different extremes. The culture is different. There is that cultural shock which they were not prepared for. And that is what they should have prepared for. The pressures on our marriages today, the pressures that the culture gives us in our marriages today are far, far more than what our parents experienced in their own time. It is more difficult, extremely more difficult to stay in marriage today than it was during the time of our parents and our grandparents. George Gallup, in his book, says that there are 4 forces in today's culture that, if they are not addressed, will rock the boat. 4 cultures. He talked about alternative lifestyles. He talked about radicalism. He talked about materialism. And he talked about sexual revolution. Alternative lifestyle. That is a major, major issue. That is a major challenge that we need to face. You see, during our parents, roles were clearly defined, and everyone played their role that has been defined for them. The man is the person that is meant to be the provider. The man is meant to be the protector. The man is meant to be somebody who looks after safety of the family, and those were defined roles that men actually go into. And then the women stay back to take care of the home, to take care of the children. But it's not the case today. And it is so because of what we have. The women also go out to work, to fend for themselves, to fend for the family, and which is good because we are looking for a better life. We are looking for a better life. And if both of you bring resources together, you will live a better life. But then, some women, because of that particular change in role, it gets into them and it creates issues. Especially some of them when they earn more than their husband. Of course, they want to see themselves as the one that is the provider of the home, and then they just feel the husband are equal, or they shouldn't really have anything to say to them. Materialism, the pressure today to have more. My friend has this, I want to have it. My colleague has this, I want to have it. You see what people have. You are not content with what you have. You just want to go after that. And of course, that brings that pressure of you going to work, your wife going to work. You are looking for more and more and more and more. And even the family does not have time to stay together. And if you don't stay together, if you don't bond together, that will bring strain in the relationship. And then the other thing he said was sexual revolution, which brings about divorce. Unfaithfulness to your spouse brings about divorce. We're going to stop here as the first part. Next week, we'll continue in this, how to survive the storm in your marriage. Thank you very much for listening to me. Once again, my name is Pastor James Egodibe, and I pastor RCCG Solid Rock Parish, Derby, 55 Woods Lane, DE22 3UD. If you are looking for a Bible-believing church, we welcome you with an open arms. We have fantastic brethren. And if this has blessed you, please share it with other people so that they can also be blessed. Thank you once more for listening to me, and I'll see you in the part 2. Bye.